Hi, my name is Kaylee Calandro, and this is for my Introduction to Educational Research. I'll be talking about my action plan proposal, and I first just wanted to start by saying that the expected vision and target of the research is to provide exclusive small reading group instruction on oral reading fluency over the quarter to see improving results. And this is what my conducted research was over. The expected aim of this target is to show student growth towards the end of the year reading goals. So for the state of Missouri, we currently have a law that has students that are at a certain reading grade level are put on reading success plans. And the students that I chose in particular were the students that are on a reading success plan. And these students are to be observed and monitored and have progress monitoring done for them. Out of a class of 13, I have 4 that are currently on a plan working towards completing this goal. So what I wanted to start with was having small group instruction for 30 minutes a day. Each day they will practice skills in foundational reading. Every other Thursday, students will be tested in required tests provided by the state of Missouri and recorded in a progress monitoring document. The document will share their individualized benchmark, target, and score for the end of the year, and the scores will be kept in a quantitative form. It is then hoped for the results of this group to then be met by the end of the year. With that, I have concluded my research, and over the past 6 weeks, I have been conducting research on the effects of changing rigorous intervention times for my students' oral reading fluency scores. Every other week, I have had my students monitored and progress monitored, and their scores all cohesively went up. I didn't have any students that actually went down with this plan of research that I have done. However, I did have one student who actually surprised me. And it surprised me because he was the lowest of the group. He actually went stagnant for 2 weeks, which surprised me because out of all of the students that I chose, he was the one that received an hour of rigorous small group instruction. So he was with me 2 different times, 30 minutes each time a day. And then on top of that, had 30 minutes with my title reading teacher. Excuse me. That student was the student I had anticipated to excel, and move forward the most. However, that was not the case, and this student didn't go down again, but did go stagnant. But I did have another student who had 60 minutes of intervention and showed the most growth. This particular student was met with me 2 different times a day. Didn't have title reading. I didn't feel the student actually needed that added into the 60 minutes, but they did show that burnout can set in, and I think that's what happened with my other student. To my stakeholders, the ones that I would need moving forward with this plan would definitely be my title reading teacher. Not only is she the title reading teacher, but she is actually in charge of our progress monitoring every 2 weeks and keeping not just me, but all of the teachers in the same cohesive agreement as far as the reading success plans goes. So she keeps us updated on any law changes, keeps us up to date about students that may have went down, up, need to be graduated off a plan. Another stakeholder would definitely be the RTI team as itself, our response to intervention team. I am actually on that team. There are 4 other teachers that are on it, and we all sit down once a month every Friday, usually falls on a Friday, and we go over all of the students' data and figure out which students in particular need maybe some changes. With the research that I conducted, I'm hoping to implement more rigorous small group instruction as through all of the elementary education classrooms to see if that can benefit our progress monitoring goals for next year, as we are in a lower school as far as reading scores go. Part of this is because of the economical state of some of the students' living conditions. They just don't have the support at home, and us as teachers really find that we want to benefit and help these kids, and so I'm hoping that maybe these rigorous small group instructions can be a good way to help that. I also next year will have a paraprofessional who would be one of my stakeholders who would help out with my small groups and intervention time. She helps to keep my students working on tasks so I can help with the students that are currently struggling. I plan to continue this to the end of the year, which is 3.5 weeks. If this works out in a way proving that instruction of 60 minutes of rigorous intervention provides improving oral reading fluency scores, then I will continue this, and for the following school year I would like to implement this as a school-wide thing to see how the outcome and results of that go. While my school does provide time for intervention, I will need to manage time and be consistently doing this every 2 weeks along with others' progress monitoring. So I will need to keep up with not just my progress monitoring students, but also with the students that I have in my rigorous small group instruction. So just because I have students that may be in a small group instruction doesn't necessarily mean that they meet the requirements for our progress monitoring program. I have taken my findings and taken them to my intervention team, and it's looking like we will possibly be changing some of the classrooms around to meet next school year's schedule to better adjust our intervention times, which would be remarkable, especially for the students and those students that need the intervention time. Again, the state of Missouri requires us to have a reading success plan for students if they are at a certain Lexile score. Out of all of my students, I had one that far excelled all of them, and that was the 60 minutes a day.